hey. Hey, beautiful people, what's going on? It's your girl, Linda S. Husser, the Bodacious Lifestyle Coach. What's happening? Beautiful people, long time no see. Glad to be back. I was helping out my mother. She caught COVID, but she's here. She's alive. She's thriving. Just turned 82 February 14th. So it is good to be back. Listen, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, put a hey girl, hey in the comments as I begin this discussion, this conversation about flipping the script after 50. Who said, y'all, that we cannot change? Like somebody told me that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That is a lie. That is a lie. I don't know what the heck is going on with my screen, but it is just doing some crazy stuff. I can't even see y'all now. There you go. Hey, beautiful people. What's up? So who told you? Have you ever heard the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I want you to put it in the comments if you have heard you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And what does that really mean? What does that mean? Well, first of all, we're not dogs. So, of course, I'm not talking about that part. But I'm just saying, have you heard the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? And all of this is programming, y'all. All of this is the powers that be, the status quo trying to get us to buy into this notion that now that we are of age, we have to start downshifting. I'm like, no, we don't. Who said so? Let me know, y'all. Have y'all heard the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? And do you really believe that? Not that you're a dog, but do you believe that, you're at a certain age and at a certain stage in your life where you just, you just got to go along to get along? Why don't y'all share this out? If you got some besties that you think would love to take part in this conversation, then share the video out. I guess you can do that on here. I haven't been on YouTube a lot, but I'm getting better. I want to build up my my channel because I don't think there's enough Black women out here talking about the aging process, what goes on as we age. And let's be clear, y'all. I am pro-aging. I'm not anti-aging. I am pro-aging. But I still, even as a life coach, and I coach Black women over 50, that's my sweet spot. But even still, I still kind of catch myself sometimes thinking, oh my gosh, is that another crow's feet? Is that wrinkles on my neck? Is that a gray hair? I still sometimes feel that way or think those thoughts. Do you ever think those thoughts? Y'all, can y'all hear me? Because it seems like I'm just talking to myself because I'm asking y'all questions and nobody's put anything in the comments. But I'm going to just keep talking because I think you can hear me. Can you at least let me know if you can hear me? Can you do that? So anywho, I wanted to talk about flipping the script after 50. I wanted to talk about flipping the script after 50. Okay, so where is this coming from? Well, as I said, I'm a life coach and I coach women who basically are starting to feel like life is passing them by and they still want to reach out and grab life so that they can ride, baby, ride. They still want to squeeze some more juice out of life, but we don't always know how. And, there's so much programming. We've been programmed. By the time you 50 plus, you have been programmed so much. Wouldn't you agree? From our grandmothers, watching them do what they did, our mothers, watching them do what they did, our aunts, you know what I mean? And so now that we're in 2022, and I'm 58 years old, and I still think I'm the shit. I do. I still think I'm all that and a bag of chips. I still think I got it going on, even though I still get those same thoughts. Do you ever feel like you got it going on? But yet at the same time, sometimes those thoughts of, I'm feeling invisible. Do you still feel that way, even though you know that you all that in a bag of chips? So I just want you to know that you're not crazy if you feel that way. You are absolutely and positively not crazy. So how do we flip the script after 50? How do we have the guts, right, to really flip the script? Because now it's going to be some work to flip the script. Now, you're not going to just be able to do it. That's why a lot of people don't do it, because it takes work. And one of the things that we don't really want to do, like we'll have these dreams, these wishes, these hopes. We can have all of that, but we don't really want to do the work. That's why the 1% stays the 1% year after year after year after year after year, because there are some people in the 1% I know who were born with silver spoons, but most of those people work their butts off and they miss some events and some games and some concerts and some parties and all that good stuff. And most of us really don't want to do that. Okay. We want to have it all, but we don't want to do what it takes to really have it all. Right. And so as I go into this whole flip the script after 50, the one thing that you definitely going to have to do is not be concerned about what other people think. That's the first thing you are absolutely and positively going to have to not be concerned about what other people think, because the average person 50 and up is not flipping anything. They're not trying anything different. They're not doing anything new. They don't have any new adventures, nothing. So you more than likely are gonna have to get a whole new crew of risk takers and visionaries, you know what I mean, who are not letting age define them. Maybe age is refining them, but it's definitely not defining them. So you may find yourself like, you know what, I have outgrown this group of people that I have been kicking it with. And if that's the case, let that be the case and do what you have to do. Part of flipping the script is acknowledging that it is time to move on. Because how else are you going to flip the script if you doing the same thing? You got to flip, do something different, right? So evaluate your surroundings. Who are you hanging out with? Look at your relationships. In order to flip the script after 50, you are going to have to have a blueprint, a roadmap on just how you're going to navigate this, because it's not going to be easy. We've been doing the same thing for a long, 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 long time. And so in order to do something different, we are going to have to set ourselves up for success. So again, flipping the script after 50 is possible. It is necessary. If you really are going to live the life that you desire and deserve, you are going to have to flip the script, which is just a fancy way of saying do something different. So what are some of the things that you can do in order to flip the script? Well, first of all, you can really look at your gifts and talents. You can look at your gifts and talents. Look at those things that you take for granted, right? And ask yourself, how would these fit into my flip the script plan? How would my gifts and talents fit into my flip the script plan? For me, I was a hairstylist for 30 years. Recently sold my salon, moved down to Atlanta from Southern California to coach full time. I didn't have to move to Atlanta to coach full time, but my boo had an opportunity. So it's like, look, I'm flipping the script. So flipping the script can mean moving 2,500 miles away plus. Flipping the script can mean actually getting a whole new job or mission in life. All of this is part of flipping the script. So for me, I flipped the script and went from hairstylist, salon owner to life coach full time. I had started life coaching about 4 years ago, got certified because I realized, like, while I was doing hair in the salon, I was also doing hearts. My clients, we're bootleg hairstylists, therapists anyway, right? So my clients would be giving me information, telling me different things. I'd be giving them advice and they'd be taking advice and they'd be working and they'd come back and say, oh my gosh, Linda, that was awesome. And actually one of my clients a few short years ago said, Linda, have you thought about being a life coach? Because you are pretty dynamic. Like your advice is off the chain. And I hadn't really thought about that. So that is one of the ways that you can flip the script, is by simply looking at your gifts and talents, seeing what is it that you have that brings you joy, that you're passionate about, that you would do for free, that everybody's coming up to you and saying, girl, can you make that, fill in the blank? For some people, it's peach cobbler. And I was in LA during the Super Bowl, and they had this guy selling little miniature cobblers in a food truck. Now, he probably makes the baddest cobbler in the world, and he would be at different, events, or he was the person that everybody said, well, let Jimmy make the cobbler. You know what I mean? So Jimmy may have started out as an engineer, but Jimmy now has a thriving food truck because Jimmy flipped the script and decided, you know what? I'm going to tap into my gifts and talents and really do this thing up. So that's one way you can flip the script, is just look at your gifts and talents. Write down your gifts and talents and look at the different ways that you can monetize your gifts and talents. Because when you can monetize your gift and talent, man, that's the best of all worlds, because now you're doing what you love, you're doing what you're passionate about, you're doing what you would do for free, but now you're getting paid to do it. That is where you really, really, really want to be. So that's one of the things I want you to do, is I want you to look at your gifts and talents. You may be 50 and up, it doesn't matter, but look at your gifts and talents and think about some ways that you can monetize them. Because lady, let's be clear. I'm 58 years old. I'm going to be 59 June 5th. I don't know how old everybody is on here. Actually, put it in the comments how old you are if you are so brave. But we don't have as much time as we like to think. I know they say that life is too short, but I personally believe that life is too long to not be fulfilled. Life is too long to be frustrated. Life is too long to really not be living a life that we want to live. So flipping the script, part of that is how we create the life that we desire and deserve, because we do deserve to live the life that we really want to live, but we got to make some changes. So the first thing is, I want you to look at your gifts and talents and see, how can you monetize your gifts and talents, right? And you might be thinking, well, Linda, I don't really know what my gifts and talents are. It's that thing that everybody's telling you you're exceptional at. Like I gave the example of the cobbler king when I was in LA for the Super Bowl. This guy had a food truck and he had cobbler king, and he had all different kind of cobblers. When I say the line was at least 50 deep, I didn't get one because I didn't want to stand in the line. But the one lady, my friend, she did stand in line, and she told me his story. She said that he just loved cooking, and he was always the one who did the cobblers for the holidays. And then he started, taking orders. And now the brother man got a truck, and she said he was in his late 50s. And that's what he's going to do. So his passion, his gift, his talent, he was able to flip the script, and now he's the cobbler king. And he can do this like pretty much year round, because they have lots of festivals in California. It's warm all the time. We don't really have a lot of rain or inclement weather. So I want you to think about your gifts and talents. The second thing I want you to do is, I want you to go back a few years. Well, quite a few years actually. And I want you to think about, what is it that you wanted to do when you were younger? What was that thing that you said, I'm going to be, fill in the blank? I want you to do some time traveling and go back. Now, some of that stuff we said when we were younger is kind of fantastical. So you're like, well, no, Linda, I'm not going to really be able to do that. And that's cool. But I want you to think about some of the things that you thought you could do, and can you monetize it now? Like, now that you're at a space and a place in your life where you've, got your 401k doing pretty good, and maybe some savings, is it time to really start thinking about, how would I flip the script? What do I need to do? Because that yearning that's in us, it doesn't really go away. We just start to shove it down and shove it down and shove it down, because maybe, we got to get the kids through school, or, you're trying to pay the house off, whatever the thing is. But I want you to think back to that thing, that spark that you used to have when it came to whatever that was that just brought you joy, and see, is there a way that I can resuscitate that? Is there a way? Because sometimes we pull the plug on our dreams, and I want you to think, wait a minute, are there some ways I can resuscitate this? Maybe I might need to tweak it, make some adjustments, but do we really have to just bury it? Is it maybe it's time to dig some stuff up, polish off your dream, right? Dust it off, take a look at it. And then the last thing, so the first thing I said was your gifts and talents. Identify your gifts and talents, write them down, all the different gifts and talents that you think you have. You can even ask people, what do you think my gift is? Because sometimes people see in us what we don't see in ourselves, right? So ask yourself or ask someone, what do they think your gifts and talent are? And then the second thing is, I want you to go back and look at some of the things that you thought about or you dreamt about as a child and see where some of that fits into your life now. What's doable now? What's some things that you know you can resuscitate now? And lastly, you have got to gain the guts, the courage to actually make this happen. See, a lot of times we get stuck at this age because again, lots and lots and lots and lots of programming, lots of non-examples of a mature woman and then a mature Black woman flipping the script and actually creating a whole new life for themselves. We don't really see that. And a lot of times if something's not tangible for us, then we don't even think it's possible. But I'm here to tell you that you be the example. You don't have to wait for somebody else who's mature and doing her thing or flip the script. You be that person. You can be that person. You can be that person. So that is one of the things that I think is so important is we all have such great ideas sometimes, but we don't know how to implement, right? And then a lot of us are just professional information gatherers instead of implementation takers. We're gathering information, but we're not implementing. We're not activating. And that is where we get stuck and why we can't flip the script is because we've got all these ideas, all these sticky notes, all these notepads all over the place with ideas and if and when I'm going to do. But I'm here to tell you that in order to flip the script, you are going to have to gain the guts to step outside your comfort zone so that you can create the life that you desire and deserve. There is no other way. So, with that, I just wanted to share with you that if you feel like you need some support in that area, if you're like, you know what, Linda, I do believe that there's more for me, but I just don't know what more is, or I'm thinking I'm ready to flip the script, but I really would like a blueprint or a roadmap or a how-to, then I want to invite you to my Ignite Your Life. I'm going to put it right here. Midlife Mojo Session. No, midlife. Yeah. Mojosession.com. We're going to start. We start March 21st through the 31st. And it's a 10-day masterclass epic experience, right? If you just click on that link, it will give you all the details. It's free. It's free. It's my gift to you because I know how debilitating being frustrated and unfulfilled can be, because that was me. I know how debilitating basically watching life pass you by and not really living the life out loud. You know what I'm saying? And just going along to get along and watching your dreams just slowly fade away. I'm convinced that most people just aren't happy. They're just tolerating life. They're not celebrating life. And there is a difference. I'm convinced that most people are just tolerating their life, just going through the motions of life. But they're not excited. There's no zest. There's no zeal. There's no passion in their life. And your life can be passionate, but you're going to have to create that passion. So in closing, I wanted to give you these 3 gems again. The first one is, in order to flip the script after 50, you're going to have to tap into your gifts and talents. You're going to have to do something different, something that really sparks you, something that makes you really excited to jump out of bed every morning. Okay? So check out your gifts and talents. Just write them all down on a piece of paper, right? And then you also can go back and look at some of the things that brought you so much joy years ago, but for some reason we didn't go down that path and we settled. Or, like a lot of people do, they go to college, they get a degree in one thing, but actually get a job in another. So they're not even doing the job that they thought they would be doing, right? So that's the second thing is, I want you to go back and revisit some of those dreams that you had. Just revisit them, you know. You don't have to try to figure out how to do them. Just revisit them. We've got to get into this space of not being afraid to see what it is that we want, and go back and check it out. And then the third thing is, now that you know what your gifts and talents are, and you're thinking about ways to monetize them, now that you've gone back and identified where you were, as far as your dreams and all that was for a few years back, and then lastly, gaining the guts to go for your dream, gaining the guts to go for your dream. That is what stops 99.9% of the people. They're afraid to go for it. And especially as we get older, which is why I do the work that I do, because I know that if I'm 58 and you're however old you are, and then we add 10 more years to that, or we add 15 more years to that, or we add 20 more years to that, how old will you be? Is that when you're going to start trying to figure out how you can really maximize your life and live the life that you want when you're 75 or 80? Not to say you won't still be here, but just ask yourself that question. If not now, when? If not now, when? So with that in mind, again, midlifemojosession.com. We will be starting March 21st through the 31st. I have a private Facebook group. We already have 83 people who have registered so far. And I would like to see you there. Like, if you really feel like, Linda, I'm ready to flip the script, but I'm afraid, or I'm ready to flip the script, but I want to get some tips, tools, and techniques on how to do that expeditiously and effectively, right? Because we can waste a lot of time just doing stuff the wrong way. So either way, I am here for you. The link is in the comments, midlifemojosession.com. Spread the word. Even if you feel like, well, I got my stuff together, Linda, I don't need this, then you can still share the midlifemojosession.com. At least just go to the site, right? If you go to the site, and then you can forward, the site, share the site with someone. So with that in mind, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to continue to do this. 8 o'clock, I do believe, will be a good time. Well, I can do it next week, because then the masterclass experience starts. So again, midlifemojosession.com for the Ignite Your Life After 50 masterclass experience. If nothing else, go to the site, check it out. If it's something that you feel like, okay, I think I can do this, I'd love to have you there. All right. So I'll talk to you soon. Good night.